Hello there and welcome to ADcraft. With the release of 1.16, the Nether update, then going back and forth to the Nether is going to become more and more important. And because of that, obviously we're going to need some fantastic Nether portals. So I've used the 1.16 blocks to come up with 12 fantastic new Nether Portal designs. So don't go anywhere, hit that like button if you haven't already as well, hit that subscribe button, and let's get on with the video. The first of these builds is taking a new look at something that's been done before. So having your Nether portal in a hill or in a cliff face has been something that's popular. However, now what I've done here is just added in some of the Nether blocks just hidden throughout the build itself, so that whenever you come and look around, you can just see a hint as to what you can expect inside. So it's almost like this is the Nether spilling out, but obviously not in the same way as you would normally have it, just with the odd block. So this is quite understated and won't be too heavy in your build if you've got something that is a very organic looking build. Moving on from something very organic to the complete other end of the spectrum with this hyper futuristic looking Nether portal. So what we've got here is some of the new crying obsidian blocks, which work fantastically with the portal blocks themselves. So the shimmering blocks and then the crying obsidian work fantastically, and of course we've also thrown in some of the new quartz bricks in there as well. And yeah, really like how this one looks. This would look really good in any futuristic or in any modern base area. Now we've got these trapdoors. These aren't edited in using the debug stick or anything. We have actually hidden behind these blocks in all of the cases some levers or some other redstone power supplies, just to show that you can actually make sure. So it's just behind this block here. You can see that there was a lever there, but you can see how that's set up to make sure you can get the actual blocks in the right place. But yeah, that's a super futuristic design and looks really good. So the next design we've got here is using the blackstone bricks and the cracked blackstone bricks and the different variants of that to give something a lot more medieval themed. So what we have is pretty much just the start of a castle, just a little design that I've come up with, mixing in the regular bricks with some of the new warped wood types, and then obviously a lot of the blackstone itself. And then using the little trick, we've just got a couple of chickens with some leads on to create this. That one's even trying to pop out, but you can't see them here. You could surround this on each side with a trapdoor, which would mean that you couldn't see the chickens through. But yeah, this could work as a standalone structure just for your Nether portal, or you could actually make it and link it through as part of a larger structure, and use the fact that if you pass through the Nether portals, you don't immediately go into the Nether. You could use that as your doorway or your entranceway. And I really like the way that you've got like a little moat around here as well. So yeah, I really like this design, just using the new pig snout design as well for some banners, just to bring in again some nethery colours, some of the cyan from the warped blocks, and then some of the reds and the magentas as well. This design is looking for more of a campsite type look. So we've got just your normal Nether portal quite exposed here, and then just bringing out some of the Nether blocks, particularly again the warp tree. Now this is just a regular grown a couple of warped trees, but I have then updated them, added some extra dangling leaves just to make them look a little bit better. And this, with just the little sulph campfire here, looks really nice as something just quite understated again, but just picking up on some of the themes with the basalt, with some of the blackstone coming out. Now here we have a much more nethery look. So again, using quite a few of the blocks that already existed in there. So we've got the netherrack, but throwing in some of the newer blocks like the gold, and the crying obsidian here, what we've got is a little walkway. Again, quite a dangerous one with the nether portal hidden behind there, but again, I think it works quite well. And then now a new addition to the nether, just throwing in a little custom skeleton from some animal there as well. So again, just quite a nice touch to create a room that is really, really nethery and shows you where you're coming out. And if you come out in the wastes, again, this would be quite a good design to have on the overworld side. So here we have the first of the more standalone portals. So this would look good in any base, and just is got quite a nice design, using a lot of the crimson woods that come through, but also mixing in things like the nether bricks, the chiseled nether brick, and the nether brick fences and walls to give this nice dimension here, this nice depth. And then just using again trapdoors and some signs to do that, and quite a nice little bit here with some graduation from the different concretes and terracottas to give you just this nice colour swatch in the middle, and then some shroom lights up on top. So this just shows that actually you can get quite a lot of good use and good design out of the crimson woods. If you like living a bit more dangerously, if you were going to put this in the overworld, then you could make a whole bunch of the respawn anchors and use those for some lighting and some effects on this. So what we've got here is using the warped wood blocks again, tying that in with some of the terracotta. So this here is the blue terracotta, and that goes really nicely as a transition into the basalt, and I believe this is the polished. But yeah, using that, because again there's a really, really nice combination between the crying obsidian and these respawn anchors, but you need to make sure that you don't accidentally, if you put this in the overworld, click on one of these, because as soon as you do, it's going to go boom and you're going to end up needing somewhere to respawn. But it does look fantastic. Just really, it's a decorative block, these respawn anchors, with these portal effects in them, just like the nether portals are really, really good, and I really do like this design. Moving on to another design that uses the warped stems, and this is one that also ties in with some of the existing cyan type color blocks. So we've got the prismarine stairs here, so those work really well, and then you've obviously got the warped stairs, but here's quite a nice graduation that I figured out. You can use a shulker box, and then these are actually diamond blocks with a sea lantern in the middle, and I really, really like how that actually works. And I've got that again in the top, the way that the sea lantern actually ties in to those diamond blocks. That works really well, and is a good decorative use of diamond blocks, normally not something that you can use in a build. And then we have, of course, some of the concrete powder and the warped blocks there, and some cyan terracotta as well, just to bring this together. And final touch, just some of the fence gates that are open here in between these, just to give a bit more depth to the build. But yeah, this gives off some nice light, and particularly when you look at it like that, I absolutely love that graduation, and yeah, I think that looks really, really good and would look brilliant in any base. Here we come back to using the blackstone. So this is using the blackstone variants, mixing in with a lot of the blocks. Again, really liking how we can get some shapes in here with the stairs, the upside down stairs, and then the right way upstairs on top, just with a decorative block in between. And then using the walls as something to actually hold these chains. So I'm loving the way that these chains look and don't connect up to things. So you can have a nice thin block, because if you tried to use previously, if you tried to use fences or you tried to use iron bars, those are going to connect up at the top there, which isn't what you want at all. But this just has a much narrower design. But if you were looking at a way to get yourself into a bastion, for example, this would be perfect, and it's got that lovely depth to it. Looking for another slightly modern or futuristic, or even potentially Greek inspired design, we've got this one here, which actually makes use of the lodestone for the first time, and also again is using some of these bricks. But the brick there, when you've got a slab on top, so this is actually a slab roof, but when you've got the brick with a slab on top, you get this really nice effect. And throwing in some of these pillars, and then again making use of the chains, but this time using them with the end rods. So really like how that actually looks. And then just some smooth stone slabs. I've stuck this obviously on a floor of the smithing tables, and these smithing tables now have a use. So you could actually, this could be a practical floor. You come back from the nether with all your nether rack, what am I talking about? Your scraps of netherite, and then you can create those into your ingots and build them into your tools and your armor. So this is again very different from the things that we've got here, but again I think it works really well, and love the decoration just around the middle with this lodestone. So this design, the last but one, is something really simple. So it doesn't need to be complicated in order to build something that looks quite good. So what we've got here is a mixture of the new nether blocks. So we've got the, what are these ones called again? The Nylium blocks. And then we've actually got the warped, the crimson stems rather, thrown in because they actually work quite nicely together. Just put this on some soul soil so we can get the blue fire. And then just thrown in some of the crimson, again, fences. You could use nether brick fences as well to get a bit of more colour in there if you wanted. And thrown in some of the nether ores that we have here. And it's really simple, but quite effective little design in the end. And last, but very much not least, we have this. So this is something very different from what we've got before, but again we've got a 4-way end portal here. So this would be great for the middle of, say, another hub or something like that, where you could be coming from all of the directions, or if you've got a good base to put it in the center. And then what we've got is, this is a 7, so you've got 5 blocks of obsidian, then the crying obsidian, 7 by 7 square. And what we've got going around this is just a 13 diameter circle, and going along with 3 blocks at a time, but each time you go up 1, you're moving round 1, and by doing that with the 3 blocks you get this really lovely sweeping curve that goes all the way around. And then I've just phased it out towards the top, but you could in theory keep this going for as much or as little distance as you wanted, and then just add a bit more visual interest to it. And I haven't put any string on these, so you could obviously put some string on them to stop these growing too far, but I've just put some of the weeping vines and some more of the chains, because the chains are a fantastic block, and then some of these soul lanterns just to give it a bit more depth. And this is just a mixture of all of the blackstone blocks that we've got going around here, and then thrown in some of the walls as well, just to make it a bit more of an interesting shape. Again, possibly another thing that would work great in a bastion. And if you did have this in a base, I've just got one here, but you could have multiple beacons going right the way through the middle of this, and then it does actually look like that is kind of fading into the beacons as well. So a very different design, this one, but I do really like it. And that is the final design. So I hope you've enjoyed these designs. Let me know in the comments which one your favorite is. I think they've all got their own merits. They've all got their different things, whether it's the simplicity when you've got a limited block palette that you can use, or something a bit more complicated like this, or some of these other designs, or very stylistic like this one here. I think they all look really good, and there's a great variety of things here that you can do to get your nether portal all set. So yeah, thank you very much for watching. If you do enjoy the video, please do leave a like. Please hit that subscribe button to see more videos like this on the channel, and make sure you do ding dong that notification bell as well. and I will see you all next time on ADcraft.